Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing well. I am your science teacher here with the summary of Science Zoom online lecture number 6. In the previous lecture, we have started the new chapter, that was chapter number 2, Senses and Sense Organs, in which two important terms, stimuli and responses, were discussed. In today's lecture, I am going to do the discussion about skin, the sense organ of touch. Skin, which is the sense organ of touch, it covers our whole body. That is why it is considered to be the largest organ of our body. On an average man, the area of the skin is nearly 1.8 square meters. The skin which is visible to us, it is made up of dead cells. Just like the hair and the nails, they are also made up of the dead cells. The skin has a number of jobs to perform. Number 1, as it forms the covering of our body, it protects most of the important organs that are beneath it. For example, the muscles, the bones, the ligaments, and also other organs, and help them to protect them from the damage or any sort of injury. Number 2, as it forms a protective layer, so it keeps away all the bacteria, germs and fungi out from the body. Number 3, it produces temperature regulating sweat, which keeps our body at normal temperature. It helps in the making of vitamin D with the help of the sunlight, which is very helpful for our bones. It has thousands of receptor cells and enable us to feel the heat, cold, contact and pain, pressure, touch, etc. It has nerve endings which sends information to the brain. Dear students, the thickness of the skin on our body is not the same. Most of the skin is only between 1 and 2 millimeter thick. The most thinnest skin of your body is the skin on the eyelids, and it is about 0.5 millimeter thin. The most thickest skin of your body is the skin on the soles of the feet, which is about 6 millimeter thick. Dear students, if you just look at your palms, you can see that there are many ridges in it, and these ridges help the skin to grip the different things while holding. Now I am going to discuss about the structure of the skin. The skin has several layers. Out of these layers, the topmost layer of the skin is called the epidermis. Beneath the epidermis, we have the dermis. Now, dear students, I want to discuss a very important thing over here, and that is this scientific term derm. Dermis or derm. This word is associated with the skin. Wherever you see this word derm, just keep the word or the term skin in your mind. Now, epi means outside and derm means skin. So, the layer that is outside the skin is called the epidermis, and beneath the epidermis we have the dermis. Now, we are going to discuss the two layers one by one. Number 1, epidermis. It is made up of dead flattened cells. It means it is the outer layer of the skin, so obviously it is made up of dead flattened cells. It makes a tough waterproof covering so that water along with the germs cannot enter it. Dear students, as I have said that it is made up of dead flattened cells, so throughout life these dead cells are rubbed off and new cells take their place from the living layers beneath it. And it is believed that about 20 kg of dead skin is shed by an average adult in the lifetime. You cannot observe this dead cells, but one thing should be kept in mind, that the dust in our homes, it contains lot of the dead cells that are shed from the epidermis. Now the layer beneath the epidermis is called the dermis, and the dermis contains the following things in it. Number 1, sweat and oil glands. Due to the presence of the sweat, the skin regulates our body at normal temperature, and due to the presence of the oil glands which secrete oil, they keep our skin smooth and avoid dryness. Sweat is secreted by the sweat glands, and oil is secreted by the oil glands, which are also called the sebaceous glands. Now the dermis also contains blood vessels like arteries, veins and capillaries. The dermis also contains fats, which acts like an insulator against coldness and hotness. Last but not the least, the skin has nerve endings which are called the receptors. These receptors detect changes in the environment. They are called as stimuli and send it to the brain. Now I am going to recap the structure of the skin. The skin has several layers. The outer layer is called the epidermis, which is made up of dead flattened cells. The lower layers are collectively called as the dermis. The dermis has sebaceous glands which produce oil. They also have sweat glands which produce sweat. They also have fats in it which insulates our body. It also has blood vessels to provide blood to the skin. The dermis also have the nerve endings which receive messages from the outside environment and send it to the brain. This was all about the skin. See you next time. Until then, Allah Hafiz.